Top of the morning to you. It is Thursday, of course, February 4th, and like always, drop the ball. I was supposed to make this video yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and just put it out and just come, I guess, with whatever I was trying to come with, because if I wait any longer, I will not do it or it won't be put out. So, as of that, I'm just gonna go while the Raiders is taking a reset and a little step back on a time. I did as well. Just like everybody referred to a little film, I did as well. And just like history never lies, history um, does not change. They can't change or take back what some of the things that I've seen, heard, saw, and um, it really put or has it in depth now because of Gruden. I look at now a lot of films that I watched. Of course, it was with various of coaches, but this one, especially the 2001 AFC game, it spoke very clearly of the whole narrative and or um, the, the narrator from the commentators from that game spoke very well and speak very clear to what's happening now. Like, you know what I mean? Because they speak upon Gruden and how he liked to do things, especially with his defense. And how it is to me, it is like just a little bit biased because even when you listen to, how the commentary speaks upon um, Gruden in ways that we are going through now, just like I would say with Paul Gunther. Paul Gunther, he comes with the old school, maybe complex for the player type defense, but now you have who's Gruden, who's very simple with no complex from the defense. One of the one of what I picked up, noticed, and heard was even back then they complained about the offense being so complex to be able to get down and score, and the defense not, and the defense, I guess the the just the the simplifying of the defense is like everybody knowing he said he will not change, and that's. I mean, I can say that that's okay because at that time when he spoke about that and spoke about the defense and changing the defense, he referred to the 11 games that they won on that defense with that same structure, and that's fine. But just like now, we are given a different. It's a different time. You're dealing with a whole different ball field. Everybody brings something to the table as far as like, what I mean. Speaking of where certain areas need to be fulfilled and all of that. So you looking at things and you correcting things because if you look at the field because of the defense and the structure of the defense that you always use, you see what I'm saying? It always come down on somebody else. Now, you don't quit when it get tough because even if you thought that the um, the structure of the defense or whatever that wasn't was too complex for the men, but not too complex for the men on offense. Only complex for the men on defense, which I thought that was kind of odd because of the same. If you want the same effect that you get on your offense, which your offense is doing this, doing that, you kind of want the same thing for your defense. And if you go about it to allow them to, structure and be able to be in this situation to make plays, I mean, why not? You see, I'm not gonna say we didn't. Well, I'm gonna say we did not win as much games as back then. But you gotta look as time progressed. Everybody know your defense and your structure of your defense. I feel like what Paul Gunther was showing a lot of promise, and because you weren't, or it's just like jumping off before you get to the end, or it's a light before the tunnel, but you too afraid to travel down it. So that's what I feel like. This is what everything is coming down to. Yes, that's out the window, but it does give an open eye to exactly what we dealing with when you look back at Gruden then and Gruden now, and what we, trying to do. You cannot, you can stick to it, but at the same time, this is a game that constantly going every year. If you'll freshen up, do something, bring something different to the table, you're gonna get what you have been getting. And even in that year and that time, everybody that plays you figures that this is the defense, and then you have our defense look like they simply just getting crushed out there, or they weak, or they this and that, and that will bring me to another video because I am going to get my story time off because it's just something about this story that I was just like, I can't believe it. Oh, but right or there. Yeah. So the defense. So it's like always making the defense look some type of way, but always trying to praise and uplift your offense. And it's tit for tat. In order for you to, get the ball back, you gotta rely on the defense. The defense rely on offense, and it's just vice versa. Even though that out of anything, the offense is gonna get way more praise. They're there to, cut down the field, make the touchdown, make those type of plays. Defense is there to just have their back. But at the same time, it's like when you put together your defense and you have your defense, you have really good people on the defensive end. Now, if you don't have time, if you don't take time to learn it, it shouldn't be no other way around it. For the simple fact that if you was to go to a police academy and you don't want to climb the wall, or it's you get too fatigued, and they're not gonna go around that. You're gonna have to find a way to persevere through that. You're gonna find a way to have your body to continue. And I know from experience, once you go a full day working out, some days become way more easier within the times, or it just does something different. It's almost like going swimming every day. Your lungs, your breathing, everything just start to come. You feel it in your body. So with that, I'm just looking at like, come on now, Gruden, you gotta start giving up something different. You can't keep giving us the same thing and then allowing the people that you do bring in to try to make look, or try to make it make it be a difference. You let all the blame fall on them, knowing damn well you know that you are not giving no room for any goddamn change. And then even if we think it is complex, it's on you to execute. It's your job to execute it, not to keep on making it. It's like don't keep dumbing down the skills because you feel like, oh, this is what it is, or this is how I've been playing it all this time. Why don't you throw something at them that can be a little bit confusing in the mix? I mean, I watched that game and I had to, listen to how much the Patriots, kind of just threw it all in and, have some trickery or whatever within the defense, offense, or whatever. But it's just the fact that you got to step out on the limb. You can't keep going this way. And it's like with the defense that we had, I feel like it was good. If you look at our men individually, and that's what I've been saying. Even on offense, if you look at our men individually, their stacks is up. Their stacks is what it is. But as a whole and as a team, what you talking about? So it's the same thing with the defense. As a whole and as a team, what you talking about? So you got to start looking at shit differently. That's why in every little chats and all of this other stuff, when they get to speaking about the defense is garbage and all this other stuff. I just have to remind people of who's actually on the defense. I mean, who you really looking at. The people have the stats. The people do what they have to do. It's all upon what we do with them. Which also brings me back to the last press conference that Nicholas Morrow had, because within that press conference, he said it so well, and I have it written down, but I know I didn't do a video because it was probably during this time that I had that little space and opportunity. Not only do I have to have the space and opportunity, I have to make sure that everybody around and about is actually giving me my space and opportunity to present it or come with content. So, like that. So, yeah. So, me doing that video and listening to Merrill and him talking about everybody just stepping up and just playing their part, because he really did. He really did a number. Stop. He really did a number. So with that, listening to him speak about everybody need to step up and take accountability for everything that was done, not just the players on offense, not just the players on defense, but most definitely the coaches. Because it's okay to, throw it to her just like now. You want to say like the defense is complex, but the defense start picking up regardless if it was a little complex aspect. This is how you execute things. This is just like a job. If it has a new something coming in, it's on you to actually learn it and execute it. So I just don't get the excuses that we keep on using for the defense because we have our men. So like we have good ass men. I just don't get why do we keep falling off or why can we keep allowing it to fall off. And I do think that it starts with Gruden, either with a space or whatever. But it's great to go back on film, and most definitely, if you don't know where to find it, I'm gonna put it in my description below because I think that game alone, just off of what we dealing with Gruden, and of course, in that time, you kind of listen to what they saying, and it's like, okay, yeah, you kind of get a glimpse of it, but as time go, and you hear that from then till now, and it's like, come on, Gruden, you had to realize within some time, even coming back, that something has to give. You have to bank on change. You have to start looking at different ways to complete your goal. And I just feel like he, just like me, with my consistency with the ball. I mean, with these videos, sometimes he is dropping the ball regardless. He spends a lot of more time, which isn't problem. They pick their team, but it seems like everybody's in love with the offense regardless of anything, and nobody loves the defense. And it's okay for everything to fall on the defense. I wanted to speak about, or just speak on the fact that when the defense was playing and it did come down to that 19 seconds, I really feel like it is very unfair. And even though this isn't spoken in the video or in the game as a reminder of what type of coach that we're dealing with, I realized that within the games and me watching back how much he literally holds on to the ball. Like even if we can score 15, it's like he up like kind of like drain it, run it down, and whoopty whoop, and it's like so much stuff like that. And that's why I feel like that was, I ain't gonna say our downfall, but even if we went to run it down and we did control, like a couple times we controlled the ball for a good like 8 minutes or 6 minutes, and I'm just looking like, okay, well, do what you gotta do, but why bring so much pressure to the defense for these last couple games? That's just like, it's so much pressure as if the offense is on. The offense is on, but you drop the ball in every way. You can't even get a couple yards down. Now they give the ball back. Now the defense is back on. You can't get mad at the defense. At the defense, like does the same thing you do. Just like on your opportunity, you don't mean to do that. You don't mean to fall short of this and fall short of that. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? So it's like when it comes down to the defense and you give them 19, 10, whatever type of seconds, and you look at it like now we just completely garbage, I feel like that is very unfair. And I don't think anybody ever opened their eyes up to the jobs that's at hand. And who's really at fault? Because look how much time that we do take to control the ball. If you watch, go back on previous films, you would see how it was a game to where like you get the ball, everybody just shooting a shot. Now if you fuck up and miss your shot, oh, I get the ball back again. Now I'm shooting my shot. But it was basically everybody getting a chance to shoot their shot. And the only time I seen it like really slow down, and you see with us, unless somebody is like making us do that, our numbers will be way higher. Numbers used to be higher. Now they so low that you can tell where, what I mean, it could be streams on the game or where somebody is trying to stretch it out. And if you hold on to the ball long enough, of course they're going to break out. I don't even care if it's the last 10 seconds, last 5 seconds. That's like, attacking somebody that's scared. They scared. You're going to fuck them up. But out of fear, they might just kill you. Like, what the fuck? So, it's like, it's so much shit that goes hand in hand. And I just wish that people would just pay attention to that because, you know, me not getting into it, but having a little mild conversation with somebody about the defense and actually It wasn't even about. It wasn't even like a long conversation. When I say the conversation was a good like 1 minute, and then every interaction after that was kind of like sour or awkward. I just felt like, come on now, especially him being a man, and I know he probably felt like, oh, you don't know anything, you don't, whatever. But my eyes don't lie. History, I know, I know what I'm seeing. I know what the hell I'm hearing. You know what I mean? I'm putting together every little knowledge and bit that I have, and I'm just looking like it just doesn't add up. No matter how you want to put it, like you put in so much blame, and you watch everybody play these games, and then you watch the numbers that carry over. When you watch the history from the Raiders, and then watch some of these numbers being carried over into the players now, it's just like, oh my god, my heart actually really melts. It's like, come on now, go on and do what you gotta do. Carry that number on out, which is good. But yeah, it gives you something to look at because it gives you something to think about, especially during the times now. And since Gruden has been back and forth, now he's on. So you look at how he really wanted to be back then, and now since you got full throttle, that's what you're doing. But it's actually exposed because you're still in the field where the men, I say the players change, right? But not so much as the coaches and the owners and head coaches and stuff like that. So not so much in that era has changed. It's like, come on now. They know you. They just as much as because they know you. Now they know your player skills, regardless if your player is top notch. If they're playing under your rules, your regulation, regardless if it's defense or offense, they know the outcome. So come on now. That's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta get over it. We got to get over it. And as a reminder, even though I was seeing it in the makings of Al Davis versus the NFL. I guess that will be coming on today. And of course, I shouldn't have to tell nobody to go and watch that because I have actually had my hand in not in the making of that video, but my own video, as in Al Davis with the NFL, because I know that it was a problem and how much of a problem it actually came down on the Raiders. I may not be able to mess with you and probably your money, because if I put more penalties on you, just saying as a coach, and I make you have to pay something, then you come together and find money to go ahead and play that off. Now I'm going to make it worse for your ass in the games. Why you trying to play? Why you trying to get it off? All this other stuff is like, I just eating at him. So you can see that even coming down to damn near all the games that we play with the penalties, and it was just a hot mess. But to watch it and know that, the progress will continue to move forward. You know what I mean? Not saying that we had not, you know, we didn't have the best team, the best squad, the lovable things. It was just like Al Davis knew what he was fighting for, and he know above, like, outside of everything, he knew that they were playing games, and the most he could do is continue to fight, and that's what he did. And even though they kind of praise, Mark for making amends, I'm just looking like you had to go below to get the deal. Not for Okay, so with that being said, I really want to get into my storytelling because it just blows my mind. So, in a little bit, I probably will be bringing that, and that's all I wanted to say was, just bring a little heads up to, like, old filming, and then some of what is spoken in the commentary in old films that we probably don't even pay attention to, that, because of that time that we're not looking at it. But since the time passed for years and years, to go back on that, hear what has been said and what is still being said, because I know in the beginning of last season it was the structure of defense and how they were moving on the old school type thing, which I was very happy about. But seeing that he, I guess, worries too much, you have to have that same drive and that same enthusiasm to keep on going, because it's like, just like in midway, if they make one mistake, it's not because of the structure. It can become of the player, anything like that. and he gives up and give out. So I just felt like that was unfair. That was unfair to Gunther for you not being mentally ready and just what I mean, being open to that type of structure because it's good to have like if we was to trade any of those if we was to trade any of those players that's on our defense right now and they go to another team and know that the defense is complex, you don't think that if they want that spot that they're going to try to get it? I mean, they're going to try to make their way to learn those plays, whether it's complex or not. So it's just like it's mind blowing. But I guess if you want to go off of how it was back then, that's fine. Back then it was different. You could still see in the plays and listen to the announcing that y'all didn't even really like get all the rules and stuff down packed. Like the rules, certain things. But I guess we still was in a time that Al Davis was going through issues with the NFL. So I can't say like okay those rules or they did not know the rules, but the rules could still simply just go against them because of the relationship between Al Davis and the NFL. So, with that being said, yeah. So I'm going to put in the description below, of course, that game because I do believe in the beginning of the game they do start speaking about a lot of stuff that kind of open my eyes and be like, yeah, because this is what we're dealing with now. It's just not we're dealing with that Gruden, but it's not the same on the field. You know what I mean? You get younger players. You get so many different type of people that bring different things. Everybody, wants to be a playmaker. So everybody is bringing something different. Before it was like so structured with the rules. You didn't have all this body twist. And I know that it was one video that I watched that I thought was so funny because it was like when they really start utilizing that big old high step. When you're running, you gotta do the high step to do that. It was kind of weird to watch everybody just try to do it, but with that, I just like what took it as what it is, history, and us learning and progressing and moving forward. So that's what it was. But it's always good to go back and just look at how things was and how they are now. So I'm going to leave you with that before I get to rambling off on some more. Because yes, I'm going to I'm going to do another video now. It will just be my little story time of me ranting off on this BS encounter. So I'll let you go 22 minutes, and I did not mean for it to be that long. But with that, I'm going to let you go, and you guys have a blessed day, and be looking out for my next video, as well as a video of Redalia, because I have not done anything with her on top of her with the rats on top of my tortoise. How do I have all these things and haven't been getting them in front of the camera? And I haven't even been doing it myself. But I'm going to bring that video and, of course, a little story time while Raiders is going through a reset and restructure. All right, you guys. On the next appointed time. See you.